From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Waker's pearls and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance of West resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. Performed the Venus nightly, never free from the deck. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in the sky. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. Can reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan, now there's crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, he's a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tenth that was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative, we offered all on text. 100 years of proof and that we're destined, where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right, welcome to Unschooled Podcast. I'm your host, Bubb, and again, we have the Cinda, our mental hygienist. Great conversation today. First and foremost, I'd like for everybody to like, share, follow, comment, as well as much as subscribe to this channel. Let a friend know that this is going on. These conversations are worth sharing with other people as much as they are worth having, with someone like YACINDA, who is, again, a mental hygienist. She clean you out. Simply, man, sweep all them cobwebs and all that junk right up out of there.
Just making sure the blood flows. We just want the blood to flow.
Now, that being said, understand something. Once you clear it out, don't leave it empty. Put something up in there worthwhile, something positive, something productive. All right. This is why we have these conversations to begin with, to be serious with you guys. All right. So I want to take us back to how we initially started this conversation, over an hour ago. And we were talking about how to deal with our young brothers, as much as our young sisters, but our young brothers, in terms of the issues that they're faced with, the decisions they make, things of that nature. You're saying one of the solutions to the problem or to dealing with some of our young brothers is to listen to their side of it, how they see their aspects.
Absolutely.
So, share that with us.
Absolutely listen, right? Because if you don't have, let's say you don't have a parent, really the parent should be your first line of defense. And they should be able to go home and tell you this happened at school. Right? And they should be able to be your advocate. No matter right or wrong, let me go check on it. Let me make sure. That gives them a sense of security. That lets them know, I can come tell my parent, whether that be mom or dad, and they're going to do something about it.
That should just be in school, though, right?
No. That should be across the board. I should be able to come tell my parent anything, right? But including if something happens at school, the teacher pulled my ear. This is in kindergarten, right? The mom should be able to, or dad should be able to go talk to the teacher. Now, they can't necessarily control the system, but the child sees, my parent was my advocate.
There you go.
They might not be able to resolve the problem, but no matter what, that parent showed up, right?
I was able to go.
So many parents that I've come across nowadays don't do that. They blame the kid. Well, when you sitting down, why would they have to pinch you? I don't know. Well, maybe I wasn't sitting down. I'm 3 years old. I'm telling you this is what happened to me. And then we have a conversation about it, right? So then maybe I have to have a conversation on your behavior. But what I'm going to do is be your first line of defense.
We're going to address this.
We're going to address that, which then gives that kid safety. So if they start at 3 years old and I can't trust you, they're gonna go through life not being able to trust
You mean to tell me that parents actually do that? I mean,
you. Are.
blame it. Does not, like, if a child comes say, "Hey, mom, such and such, what did you do?"
Absolutely,
That's their first response.
Absolutely, wow. I've lived it. Absolutely.
All right.
That is, and so that begins to train the kid. I'm not valuable, right? I'm not worth being heard. My words aren't valuable. You didn't honor me as a person. There's so many. Remember, roots, they come down and then they branch off this way. And then you get the tree, and the tree branches do the same thing. So whatever you plant, it's going to take root, and you're going to get the fruit of that root.
Wow. Okay. And that gives me great clarity in terms of, a lot of our youth actually feeling the way they feel, or going about doing the things they do because they may be under the impression, or they're under the impression no one's going to believe you, no one listens.
Yeah.
So
that's
why say
home,
anything?
right?
Right.
So then you might get a teacher that shows up differently, but that teacher is only for a short period of time.
That's right.
So then it collapses again because who I valued is no longer in my life. So it's like I never learned how to, I never felt completely whole, like I had value. So most of the youth don't have value. They have no, so they do reckless things because I don't have anything to lose anyway.
And you're talking about self-value.
Yeah, self-value, right. Because who's going to care if I die?
Right. They're not caring now that, I'm alive, I'm trying to.
Exactly. I'm trying to do something different, and no matter what I do, because everything can be a learning, you can teach a teachable moment, right? And they can learn something. But if you're not pouring into them and all they do is get negative input, then you're going to get negative output.
Okay. There's someone who picked up on that. And it probably explains, again, a lot of ways. Yeah, this is probably the result of.
Yeah, that's good. You manifest in some way, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but it was a few weeks back. I went to go set, and, hung out a little bit, talking to some individuals that do community work and upwalks a few of the young ones, And I had been seeing this individual, and I wanted to talk to him, so I called him over, and we ended up having a conversation. And I remember what you said. Hey, just listen. And I listened. I listened to the young brother talk, and I just like that. So stop. He opened up to talk to him for a
Can you imagine? And he was so.
No, I couldn't imagine it initially.
Yeah, but he was so happy that somebody was. You did initiative, and then you made it about him, and then you encouraged him by asking questions about him. You didn't shut him down. That was so valuable to him, right? He might walk away and that be the best thing that has ever happened to him. That some man decided to think that I was important.
Yeah.
I meant something in that moment.
Yeah, he was working.
He had ideas, and what you're curious about my ideas.
And crazy thing about that was 2 other loved ones came over
and wanted to do it, like, because you made it a safe place.
And we just
talk
about their lives.
Right. So that is what community should be, right? The elders should be more listening and not, well, this was my experience. Because you're not a kid in 2026.
That's right.
What you were up against, because the old heads be like, we're back in my day. Yeah, but you didn't have these things, right?
That's true.
That's relative to you, not to me. I need you to take off the hat of who you are and come into my world.
In my space.
Yeah, and figure out, what does that look like to you right now?
Great point. Yeah.
You be the learner. Let them be the teacher, right? And it opens up so many doors that the old heads will learn some stuff too.
I heard that before, actually. It is a time or another opportunity to learn.
Yeah. You should always be learning.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, anything bring growth, anything right rots.
Yeah. We should be, to the day we die, say we should.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that was a good moment. I actually appreciate it, and you know, and he knows who he is. He says he watches the podcast as well. So shout out to you.
I'm proud of both of you.
Love and respect.
Look, I'm proud of both of you.
Yeah.
You gave him space to open up, and he did. He walked right into the space. So, like a lot of these community workers, they talk at kids, right? You guys need to be doing X, Y, and Z. That's a cool story.
Yeah.
I love that. You think we should? Did you give us a solution?
Yeah.
Pull up your pants. Yeah. Well, why?
Right.
Right. Not just that doesn't look good. Well, because this is the history of why they sag anyway. Give me history, right? Give me what they did in jail. Is that what you want? Is that what you represent? Even if it doesn't change them right then, you're planting a seed. Somebody else might come and watch.
Yeah.
So it's all about seed planting. But so many people just want harvest and don't want to plant seeds, and it just doesn't work like that. It's so many things before you get the seed anyway. You gotta till the land, and that ground might be hard as a rock. Hard. Right? So you mean you got to put a lot of water, a lot of love into that ground, and we get so frustrated as if we weren't that age. What did we do at that age? We didn't have all this wisdom. We forgot. Right? We ran away. We played a lot. We did dangerous things. And from my perspective, by the grace of God, we didn't succumb. Right? We made it through it. But we don't give them that same thing, the same wiggle room, but wisdom that we now have. Right? Well, this is the why I wouldn't do it. What do you think about that? Well, if you just let me, okay, I'm going to give you this opportunity, but if you blow it, this is the consequence. I'm going to still love you. But you're gonna have to because everything comes with a consequence. Everything. So this is my thought. I'm gonna give you your rope and I'm gonna let you hang yourself. But
I wouldn't say that, but
well, you know what I mean, right? Not in this day and age. But if we don't let them learn how to have a conversation,
that's right,
and give them language to use it properly, then we're lost. And then we're like, well, why didn't you tell me? Because I don't know how.
Yeah, I thought about Cinda. I said, wait a minute. And again, this is an individual that I think people should be, listening to. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's so much in the back of this. And I let him know that. And exactly, I told him that. I said, and just the fact that he doesn't. He came right along.
When I said that was a huge moment on both parts. So yeah, again, I'm proud of you as well because you didn't have to open up. You could have been like, "This my thing," and right? That ego, all the things, right? So this is what our black men, even if they're not your kid, like buy into them, right? Buy into them. What can I do to push you forward? Not this is my agenda. What's your agenda? And how can I help you get to your agenda?
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
A lot.
That helps the youth.
A lot. And I have to say now, you saying it that way. I recall growing up, I was in programs. I had a mentor, and like I said, wasn't here all the time. You know what I mean? But I couldn't wait to show up. Right. You know what I mean? And it wasn't always he took us places and spent money. It was just
he sat down. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I haven't forgotten that.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I haven't forgotten that, So I think about that in terms of, okay, that actually, it was a good thing for me. It could be also for someone else.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I do that.
Because we want contact.
We do.
We want proximity.
Yeah. Right.
So again, if I'm not going to get your attention, bad attention is attention. And if you didn't teach me how to get good attention, then I'm gonna get back. Like I need your attention.
Right.
Like if I'm tapping on this, I'm gonna stop. You're gonna stop. Be like, that's getting on my nerves. Oh, but I got your attention. Right. So can we talk now? I don't got time. I gotta take a minute and pour into these kids.
Yeah, so I find it a lot of interesting. You know about the take place August 10th, right? Yes, you are part of it. And what's can you share that with us? What's
And I'm sorry.
yes, you are.
Can I?
Yes, you are.
It's something about the youth. I can't.
It is
I would have to
in
go.
regards to you.
But I am, because these are the things that I think that we need to be made aware of. Not just talking at our kids. Not just. We really need a workshop on the parents more than the kids, because again, there's no lazy kid. There's only lazy parents. And the first line of defense should be the parents, but the parents are carrying their so many burdens, right?
Right.
And we need to give them some relief on, oh, you're not alone. Literally, if somebody just says something that you're going through, that makes them feel like they're not alone.
Now, and excuse me,
Yeah.
Cinda, in terms of what we were just discussing, there is an event taking place. It's called Protect the Seed. Mothers of the Community is presenting this Get Out. Again, so here's the thing, and you just said this: if we don't protect them, who will? If we don't, open up or be willing to listen to them, who will? So this is something similar, but quite similar to what Cinda is discussion today. It's a community roundtable for our children. It is a discussion based upon solutions, I think, also programs and things, services that can help those in the community that may need them. I'll be there as well.
Yeah.
So we hope to see you guys there. That'll be August 10th at Family Source Center. And as I understand it, that's on the east side somewhere.
No, is it on Manchester?
Family Source Center, Manchester.
Is it? It doesn't have an address right there?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
It does not have an address.
Because what I was told that it was on like off of Manchester and Vermont, I think, or something like that. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Yeah, and the Rita Walters Center or something like that. No.
Oh, a little
Down
bit
the way?
down the way. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll get that address and I'll post that. I'll let you guys know. Again, it's August 10th at 10:45 in the morning. I will provide the address for those of you who are interested, who may want to come city, and I'll have something to bring, in terms of providing,
questions.
help for,
Yeah, bring questions.
Bring questions.
Inquisitive on what can I do differently, even if it's whether it's community or as a parent. What can I do differently? Because our kids are killing each other, and they become heartless. And why? What is missing that they would think that they could take a life or even fight for a piece of property they don't own?
Right.
Carry a name when their last name should be with honor. What are we missing there? There's a void, and we need to fill the void. So we need to fill the void, or what is the trauma that has already been committed against the kid that needs to be healed. So there's two different components there.
How can we help this healing?
How can we help the healing across the board, whether it's from a void or from the trauma, right? So in again, you only can eat an elephant one bite at a time. Right. And it's okay to say, I wasn't a good parent. I didn't have tools. We can't let that be the excuse. It can be the reason, and then you get tools to be a better parent, right? And you have a community there to help you along the way, but don't let pride let you lose your kid.
I'm in full support of what she said. All right, just so you know. Okay, good. Now that event is going to take place August the 10th. In between time, in the meantime, I hope to have you here. Like I said, I want to start this discussion, and I thought maybe a panel of 3, but I said no. I think you're pretty capable, of having this conversation. I don't know if I can hang with you in that respect.
Yeah.
But you coming back to talk about the women, the young sisters in the community is something I'm looking forward to. But we've been talking about this for months now.
Yeah.
So we finally, well, hopefully we'll get around to this in the next week or so.
Oh yeah. Let's figure it out. We'll see. I'll have my people call you.
All right. Cool.
But yeah, because we have to come up. It has to be a collective.
Yeah.
Right. We we've talked heavily on the men because they play a huge part. But we need to talk about the brokenness of women as well. We need to talk about why they're out here half dressing, why they feel like they have to give themselves away, that they don't have any self-esteem, right? It's low self-esteem, but it's self-esteem, right? We need, there's so many variables going on there, and everybody's so lost, and we need to bring them to the light, not out the darkness, bring them out of the darkness. So there is a lot to talk about on either subject, because if you aren't a good human, whether that be male or female, and you're procreating, you're not going to have good offspring. And it can't be about the look of it all. It can't be about the things, the shiny things, because once they're gone, what are you left with? And when you think about, you want people get attracted to, again, the shiny things. So if you're in an impoverished thing, oh, I'm going to go hustle, I'm going to go sell dope, I'm going to go do these things. But do you have a peaceful life in that life?
Yeah, right. And we know.
Yeah, you don't. So it's how do I get to that peaceful place? I don't have to look over my shoulder. I can go to bed and just sleep. I don't have to have a gun. I don't have to defend something that's not mine to defend anyway.
Or wonder if I'll be here tomorrow.
Or wonder if I'm here tomorrow, right? So
imagine that stress.
Oh my gosh.
You know how that impacts an individual.
Oh, for sure. And and the impact of it is, again, that bad behavior that shows up, because up underneath there, I gotta watch, because I know what I've done. So, you know, what you reap is what you sow. And you're gonna have the consequence. But we never put the two together. That I created this, so it's no victim. It's, are you reaping? Are you in your reaping season now? And you might have become a better person, but you still got to reap that seed that you sowed. There's a debt that you got to pay, right? And how do I manage that? So again, you see how it's always so many different layers, because now I've turned my life away. And I've turned my life around, but now I'm up against now what I've reaped. I got my harvest now, and I don't know what to do with this, because I'm striving. I'm trying to, you got to be the young man that I told that I talked to. He brought up that he was in a church. He brought up, you know, him knowing God. I didn't have to bring it up.
Before game banging?
Before game banging. But he lost his great grandmother. And then remember, I told you that his mother abandoned him and all the things. So I told him, in conclusion, as much of a thug as you were in the streets, you wanted to do it on this side too. You're going to have to, because you were calculating enough to do the things you did on that side. You got to be just as calculating, because you're going to be up against some stuff that is unfamiliar. That's right. And you're going to be up against it. So you're going to have that same fight to live on this side that you did to prove someone on that side. Yeah, because you got it now. You got to balance the scales out. And it doesn't sound fair. Well, I gave that side of my life, but again, consequences. Again, there's a reaping season.
Right.
When you got that harvest, you planted that seed, you got it, and you didn't dig it up. Most people just walk away, but all it needs is a little moisture, and you're gonna sprout.
The nurture.
The nurture.
Yeah, I mean, I just imagine how many of them, there are. You know what I mean?
You know how it broke my heart? Like, it really broke my heart to hear how articulately he gave me who he was. And imagine, they do stupid things, but these ain't stupid brothers.
I say on touch base with people, they aren't dumb
at all, by no means.
They do ignorant.
He went to
stuff.
college, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, so that's another level of whatever. And then he got pulled back into the street, right? So it's so many levels to this. I tried it and it didn't work, but nobody was there to push you along the way to keep it going. Because you're going to come up against, you know, in a river there is rocks. The flow still gotta flow. But they give up. I'm discouraged. I don't have a job because I got a felon. My girl, I'm staying with her, and she's holding it over my head. I got a baby. She won't let me. The baby mama won't let me see my son. Those are a lot of variables that get you down, and I don't know how to cope. And I can go back to what I want. That's why I either want to kill somebody or just take it out. Right? People don't cut. You've heard of cutters. People that cut.
They don't cut the right way.
That's just to relieve the pain because it's a distraction of the pain. So they
cut themselves.
They cut themselves to distract from this mental pain, even though that's pain. That's different, right? So now I'm gonna get out of my head and create my own pain. But what is the root of the pain of it all? Right? Because had it not been for the internal pain, you wouldn't do external pain. Had it not been for the internal pain, you wouldn't go out and destruct your community. So it all has the root system of where did the pain start.
Well, then how do you respond, or how can you respond to those who say, well, no, I have nothing to do?
Because they haven't dealt with it. Just because you push it down again, the dirt.
Or just because they say they don't exist.
Exactly. Because just like with this young man, nobody stopped to listen to him. Nobody paid attention that he never told about his mama. Do you see how that could just slide on by? That nobody stopped to ask him, where's your mom? Wait a minute. You told me about your grandmother and your great-grandmother. You never said one word about your mother.
Right.
So imagine at 26, 27, that everybody missed that small detail, which is a huge one in his life, that nobody landed on that. That's a small detail in a conversation that nobody listened to.
And that will affect them.
Right. So I pushed that away. I don't talk about it. So it's out of the scope of range of me even like, oh, that happened a lifetime ago, right? No, that lifetime ago was your lifetime and it affects you greatly. Today. So had I not asked the question about where was your mama, he would have never told me that she put me in a cardboard box. And now you got to deal with those. And I told him, you're going to have a flood of emotions now that you're going to have to deal with. Because once you open that door and all that stuff in the closet, it's going to fall down. You can't push that stuff back up there.
Yeah, expect it to stay.
It's not. That door. Right. So then that's where you need the support of a great listener. But because I never get to open that door, nobody ever, or I defend it, I am guarding that door with my very life. So no, I'm good. I show up good. No, you showed up broken and you're cutting me. You don't realize that you're cutting me because you won't let the stuff out the door. They won't even admit I had a horrible childhood. And children are not resilient. People say children are resilient. No, that brokenness shows up in adulthood.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's in him and in her. There's a her out because who he's with is just as broken as he is because they attracted one another, right?
Same issues.
It might not necessarily be the same, but pain is pain.
There is pain.
Right. So if I get my leg broke by a car or I fell off a horse, my leg is still broke and it's still the same thing. And I'm gonna have to go to the same rehab, right? So let's get to the pain of it all. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm so sorry that your mother didn't have the tools to raise you. Because you can't minimize her pain too. Well, she should have been here. She had her own pain. Either if she was a drug addict, she may have had him young. She didn't have the skill set either. And I am so sorry that your mother couldn't mother you. I'm so sorry that your father ran off. Or your mom doesn't know who your father was because she was looking for love and slept with so many people and procreated and doesn't know who the father is. I'm not saying that's his story. Right. But I'm just saying that that's a lot of people's story, that they don't know who their daddy is, right? Basically. That doesn't mean that because he's not there and we didn't deal with it, that void is still not in that kid, because everybody wants their whole family, right? And they need to reason it some way, and sometimes they reason it away, and I'm not going to deal with it because that's the best thing for me. is to reason it away. And they become toxic in some way, either toxic positive or toxic negative.
What's the difference?
Toxic positive is everything is positive and rosy and good and I don't care and it's fine and it's not. Or negative, we know I'm gonna go out and kill somebody or rob them or rape or just mistreat. It doesn't even have to be that big. But if you're mistreating your partner, that's still negative, toxic behavior, right? Right? You still haven't dealt with your stuff because that's not being kind. That's not making you a better person. You're going to respect me. No, I'm going to be afraid of you. Respect and fear do not equal the same thing, right? So, and I know I lived that. I had a relationship, and he was like, "You're gonna respect me. No, I'm gonna fear you. And if I was 7 feet tall, I'd beat your A." You know what I'm saying? If I was bigger than you, because you could lord over me, then you got that smoke, and now you push me into. You made me shrink to make you bigger.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you're that big because you might have been an ant, but now I got to be a piece of granite. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it's because we didn't deal with the harm that was caused, the trauma that was caused in childhood.
Negative, positive toxicity and negative toxicity.
Yeah.
And the positive, dang, you mentioned that. I probably hear a lot of that. I see a lot of that. You know?
Because that's masking, though. Either way it goes,
exactly,
I have to wear a mask. Either I wear this pretty dressed up mask or I wear this really, really ugly mask. But I'm still not being authentically me.
Okay. Well, we're about to get wind it down. And again, as always, I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate it. I love
you coming through and doing what you do for this channel. And again, the comments speak for themselves.
I love that.
You're loved in the comments.
Yeah.
Where is she? Where is she? All right.
Yeah, bring questions even in the comments. We can resolve. Like, let's talk about. We can bring that as a discussion. Because change is not easy. No. Change is very scary.
That's right.
You have to be brave to change, right? Because you're going into a place of that I don't know. I don't know how to walk in light. It hurts my eyes, right? Because I've been in darkness for so long.
Certain fear.
I need fear, right? And fear is a spirit. That's what the Bible says. God didn't give us the spirit of fear, and we take that lightly. But no, you got to be brave through some stuff. Let me tell you this funny story before we get off. I'm afraid of cats. I'm really, really, really afraid of cats. I've been held captive by a kitten. Captive, you hear me? Couldn't get out my door for a little bitty kitten.
It's funny already.
It sounded like a mountain lion. So I had to go get a tire for my car, and the guy had to, I had to pay him, and I was like, I can't go in there because I see cats. So they picked up the cat and moved the cat. I had to go back the next day to get an alignment, and the cat was in the area, and I was like, yeah, I can't go in there. And he was like, okay. He sat me outside under a cabana where I was nice and cool, but he was like, I got to move the car, so you have to move, which meant I had to go sit where the cat is going to be. But the cat wasn't in there. Right. He was by the car. I'm good. Here comes the cat. I'm like, I want to jump on my skin, but I said, nope, God didn't give me the spirit of fear. I had such a great peace. That cat went up underneath that chair, went to where he wanted to go. I still had to calm my nervous system, right? I had to calm my nervous system. You're fine. The cat you're not afraid of the cat. The cat left, came back, and then before I knew it, the cat landed right where I was and looked up at me. And I was like, can't pet you, not there yet. But I'm going to get up. And then when I got up at that seat, that cat jumped in that chair like I just wanted my chair back, right? But I had to conquer my fear. Right. When all these years at my big old age that I would avoid a cat, just don't touch me, right? But I can watch a cat video, but I could not.
But in real life, that's a whole
different. So to my point, you can watch all these things, but when it's time for you to have to do it, woo,
That's a
that
whole
fear goes,
different thing.
and you gotta calm your nervous system down. Like you get to tell that little boy, you know, you're fine,
Right.
or that little girl, but you know,
Right.
you're fine. You get to talk your nervous system down and say, I am fine in this experience. I am fine. My voice can be heard. I have a voice now.
Well, okay, let me ask you before we go. What is the issue with the cat? What happened?
Okay, so
Why are you
I
trying-
love that you asked. You want
Right.
root system.
Yeah.
Good show. So my mother didn't like cats. Let's start there. She's my first little G guy.
All right.
And then when I was a little girl on Halloween, we lived in a big community, so we could go trick or treat.
Yeah.
And somebody threw a cat at me. The cat didn't land on me. The cat didn't touch me, but they threw a cat at me on Halloween. And from that point on, I was
You had an
done.
issue with cats.
Right.
Oh my God.
I was done. So that was my mother gave me part of it, and then the experience gave me
Right.
the other part
For a long time, you had this.
for this big old age, and I'm a big old age. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You're
So I'm healing from that
Yeah.
trauma.
right.
Do you see?
That's right.
Exactly. And the void of it was nobody ever dealt with me. Like, no, cats are fine. You know, I could have
Right.
exposure,
Okay.
all the things. But no, I avoided it. Nobody told me that I had to tell myself that it was okay. In that moment, I couldn't run. Like, you're not running today. You're not running from your fear today. You're going to sit in it and you're
Yeah.
going to be fine.
And that's what happened.
And that's what happened. And I didn't, you know how when you get nervous, you can feel it in your body? I didn't even feel it. I had a great peace about it. Now, I wasn't touching
No
it.
quick impulse.
No quick
sweating it,
impulse,
yeah.
because I also knew if he feels my fear,
Yeah.
he will react in my fear. And that's the same thing in humans. You can feel if somebody's fearful,
Mhm.
and you respond to their fear in like way. Whatever, either I'm going to bully you, I'm going to do something because I can, because that's how you showed
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, coming up in there with-
Yeah, you cannot, that's what we would call it, right? But it's their fear.
Mhm.
So yeah, like that was one thing in life that I could say that I was fearful, and I wouldn't tell anybody that. So even to tell you this, because
Yeah.
who wants you to use that against me,
Right.
right? So even in
Right.
telling you, that's part of the healing. Like, oh, you can't use my trauma against me.
Right. Gotcha. All right. There it is. As always, you know, you guys know, like I do, having YACINDA on this show, you know, it's for the best. All right. I'm pretty sure, like myself, a lot of you have gotten a great deal of what she said and taken it and use it to your own benefit. And if you haven't, you should go back and look at those old episodes. And they're not that old, but go back and look at those episodes and pick up those gems and jewels she's dropping, especially when it comes to healing. You know, finding ways to heal, you know, behind whatever trauma or issue you've been through. All right. Again, thank you as
Oh,
always. All right.
it's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
And she'll be back.
Thank you.
She will be back. This is Under the Groove Podcast. Please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We are here for you. You guys take care of yourself. Until next time, you are, you have been, and you will be Under the Groove.
All right.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurst, and writing future history. From the Apollo to the borough to the sphere. Where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transform suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws, and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. It's in the sergeant. This is once a less than half the stats and researchers. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, but you the applause for polls. Need your data, talks and counseling. They problem when the wet just wanna build the season big. Now don't get the pause. It's just the raising up the times. Plead the markets off the main. Make it honor fans. Turn the neck and love the durn. Suffer like the kesha. You were wrong to preaching up. I'm sorry, see chillun, but on the shit and untrue seeing vets. Someone the very it's on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the bonafide. If we're talking for the marker, make the kitchen for the trumpets on the boards. To the singer, land is carried open. So to keep us focused on my mother. Break it, generous, for the he and let the peasant be. It's every time we keep a spawn.